and I'd be banging a ball off the wall there for hours and hours until it gets dark at night. And as I say, hurling to me was one of the greatest skill games in the world. You have to. It's a game in itself. You know, it's an absolutely brilliant game. But I think that this Tipperary team, I think Nicky has done a great job with them. I think he's a fabulous fella. I think my honest opinion, I think that they'll win this All-Ireland. I'm not certain they're going to win it, but they look good, they're very sharp. Well, for Eddie Enright and Larry Corbett, they're two good young chaps. They know what they're doing. They're actually leaders in the club team, and I suppose when you're a leader with club team, you have to be that extra special on the county.
We have a very strong tradition. The club is, I think, the oldest club in Tipperary, has had huge success in the past, has had 8 individuals who have captained All-Ireland winning teams in Tipperary. So it has a huge tradition, and Thurles Sarsfield's name is strong no matter where you go in the country, and I think the players and the people in Thurles recognise that. So there is a loyalty that's built up, and because of that players come back now. But I think the second part of it is that we're here to promote Gaelic games, and Gaelic games are very important in Thurles. So in terms of attracting people to play initially, there isn't a huge difficulty, but it's to get them to stay with hurling as their maybe #1 sport. That's maybe the challenge for Thurles Sarsfields.
We realised, I suppose, between 1956 and 1985 that we had only 2 county minor titles to our credit, which didn't reflect the work that was going on in the town at juvenile level. And we were worried about that, so we sat down in 1998 and we examined the situation, and we decided that we would set up minor schools of excellence for the young players of the town who wanted to play with Thurles Sarsfields. And we done that, and each year since, we've had a school for 6 to 8 weeks, starting in February and finishing in St. Patrick's Day. That's been a great success, which has been reflected in 2 county titles for the club, 99 and 2000. And we're still involved in 2001.
Our club is very professional in its approach, right from the top down, from the chairman down, and we go to great pains to make sure that we've the top coaches and top selectors with all our teams, whether it be minor, junior, under 21 or senior. And I think that helps, having good coaching structures in place, having proper training facilities, you know, and lots of discipline throughout all our teams. I think that helps, and young people nowadays respond to discipline, and we found out with all our Thurles Sarsfields players that they respond to discipline. They like to be coached in the proper way, and we've no problem holding on to them.
My ambition was, when I was young, just to play for Sarsfields. Like, I never thought I'd get the chance even to play a South East League match for Tipperary, but got the opportunity last year and I just took it from there. Like, things have gone nicely since then.
So I suppose in Thurles, I suppose hurling is obviously the main sport. From Dorasogue under 12 right through to Thurles Sarsfields and senior club. It's a great tradition in the town of hurling, and they really nurture the young people, especially Dorasogue level, to teach them the skills of hurling and bring them through. And then Sarsfields take from the minor. There's also Realty Kickham's. So, you know, there's 2 or 3 clubs in town, you know, steeped in hurling tradition, and I think everyone's interested in hurling and wants to play hurling, and that's, I suppose, what it makes it so special, you know.
Yeah, that's the situation down in Tip. Next, we take a look at Galway, and in doing so this year, we have to do so via Clare. Clare's great success during the 90s was due, of course, to Ger Loughnane and his backroom team. Now, an important part of that setup was Mike McNamara, the team trainer and a man who is now very much part of the Galway backroom team. Jim Carney travelled to Scariff during the week to meet Mike Mack and asked him how he came to be brought into the setup by Noel Lane.
Noel Lane must have been friendly for quite a while, and I suppose we got involved in the shinty together. I had international shinty teams, and Noel was a helping hand, or maybe, so we were away for a while together, and a couple of weekends together, and married a very happy relationship. And then almost out of the blue, he appeared at the door one day, would I be interested in the job that he was offering, and I told him I'd think about it for a week. And I must admit I didn't think about it for the week, but when he came back I agreed to go with him anyway, and it's basically friendship related more than anything else.
But for 4 or 5 years down here, you took a band of good hurlers and had them running up and down hills and sent them to hell and back. Why would you want to do that all over again when you could have a quiet life and smell the roses?
Well, I'm not sure what an easy life is, Jim, but I suppose some something we're brought up with, which is a love for this game, and it's like a drug that it grasps us, and particularly when we drift away from it, as we like to. I think most of us know when the time is up to drift away, and my time with Clare, and my time was up. I had the bones of I think I had 11 years done with Clare teams of various age groups, and my time is up, and it's time to drift away, and it's time to play golf and maybe enjoy myself with other things. And do what most people do well, sit up at the back of the stand and criticise everybody that plays, and referees and linesmen, and my time had come to join the band, and I drifted away, and I suppose reputation maybe was left that I could do maybe marvellous things, and it's only reputation. So here we are.
Our mission was to show that we're no longer the whipping boys of Munster.
Colin Lynch, a couple of players there to help him, keeping it away there in spite of the bloody nose. A minute to go. Jamesy O'Connor, will this be the winner? It may be! Jamesy O'Connor!
Noel Lane and John Connolly, what did you like about them as hurling men?
Well, for a start, they're hurling men. You've said it there for a start, and this game is all about hurling, irrespective of the methods that are reputedly used by the Mike Macks of the world. This game is still all about hurling and hurling skills, and there are two hurling men who themselves proved this at the highest level.
John Connolly and Leonard Enright. John trying to shake off the Limerick man and getting in a lovely shot. Oh, what a delightful shot. That's what it's all about.
You went to Galway when you saw 20, 25 guys out there in the field. How quickly then did you decide, when you looked at that group, who'd make it and who wouldn't?
Well, I think when I went to Galway, I think we saw about 45 fellas out in the field, and we now have 24, 25 in the panel, so along the way there was a lot of casualties, and that's the way it is. Some people maybe didn't measure up to what we thought. We're not always right. Maybe some drifted and came back into it again when the club championship started. They showed maybe a little bit more potential than we thought we had. And at the end of the day, we hope with the 24, 25, which will bring the ultimate prize and the ultimate honour to Galway.
There's a lot of talk about the hard training that Galway are doing now, Mike. Are you a hard man?
Well, a reputation comes very, very easily, and I suppose my reputation is this lunatic. I think when I got to meet a bunch of lads and we started training first, I think they were surprised that this man isn't a lunatic at all, that, you know, we have done most of this before. Because this Galway bunch, like many before them, have always had good trainers. At Tipperary have good trainers. All the clubs now have professional type trainers. And most players now know what's required. Inter-county level takes an extra commitment and maybe an extra little push, but not really, not an awful lot more.
What is hard training?
I suppose hard training is maybe sustained training over a period. And it's an amateur sport, and being an amateur sport only allows this minute time really for training. In fact, if you consider that an inter-county team will be together no more than 10 hours in any week, then that gives you an idea of what has to be jammed into that 10 hours.
Mick O'Dwyer was quoted, Mike, as saying that one of the great pleasures of his life in football was the long drive home to Waterville on his own when he'd be thinking about football. What do you think of in the long drive up and down to Athenry?
Well, I'd agree with a little bit of that, but one of my greatest pleasures in driving from here to Athenry, I can assure you, I'm wondering every evening will I get back alive out of the place even. But certainly there is a great time for reflection in that, and a lot goes through my mind, and the hourly drive from here to Athenry or from here to Ballinasloe, wherever our session is, and certainly a lot goes through the mind, and we play a lot of different matches along the way, and a lot of different players, and a lot of different coaching methods, and a lot of different training methods, and I often left here to do one type of session. When I get there, I'd have changed my mind. I'd go on down another avenue. So Mick O'Dwyer's right to me in half of the statement.
Galway get it back. It's Mark Kearns this time. Lobbed in towards Rabbit, trying to hoof it on somehow. Cloonan trying to get inside. JJ Delaney, it's Cloonan. He's kicked it. He scored. It's a second goal for Eugene Cloonan.
Well, there's no team unbeatable. The start, and one would have to say that this Kilkenny team, many people now are saying they're too old and they're too this. They'll be back. They're not far away, that bunch of boys. They weren't the most talented bunch of hurlers in Ireland for nothing. And they haven't gone away. And one of the great things about Kilkenny and Kilkenny people and Kilkenny hurling is they don't go away. They take the feet on the chest and they bounce back. And I would hate to meet these lads in a replay of that match sometime next year. I think they'd be gunning for us, and I think we'd certainly have a different type of a game.
And how do you rate Tipperary?
Well, Tip are very similar to Galway for a start in the type of players they have. They have fast, eager, committed, hungry players. The Tip success wagon hasn't been there no more than Galway's for a long number of years now, and I think it's 91, which is 10 years since Tipperary have reclaimed the ultimate prize, and that's a hunger. That's an incredible hunger in the stronghold. They won the strongholds of hurling, which is Tipperary.
And Nicky English, did you admire him as a player?
Well, of course, anyone that wouldn't admire Nicky English as a player wouldn't know anything about hurling. He was one of the greats, and as a man, he's also one of the greats. And as a manager, I suppose he's yet to prove that. But if it was any other county who'd won a Munster title, I think they would have proved he's a great man. But Tipperary probably see it differently. He used to bring home the All-Ireland, the Celtic Cross, and if he can manage that, then he'll, in Tipperary at least, he'll be known as a great manager.
Down the line, you'll walk away from Galway hurling. What would you like your legacy to have been?
Well, I suppose certainly if any management team that start off on a voyage, and it is a voyage into the unknown, would always say one thing: if we have to leave this thing better than we got it, and that would be the greatest compliment any management team could get.
And that indeed is our big match here on the Sunday game next weekend. Galway and Tipperary in the